They're not a team that's going to want to get out and run a lot, but they get the ball where it needs to be when it needs to be there.
And a lot of crafty guys. I mean, you talk about Hamblin, but, I mean, King fits into that. Semro fits into that. And even Logan, that was Semro. But Logan Gart, like, there's a lot of pieces there that do such a good job supporting the headliner of Caden Erickson.
They know their role. King is a great facilitating point guard. He doesn't care if he shoots. His job is to get him in their offense and go from there.
Spies Tia backs things out. It's 4-0 early on here for Syracuse. A little bit of a glitch on our scoreboard as there's a foul that's going to put Q Meza at the line. And this is a fun kid. I mean, Quentin Meza, Dane, historically in the state of Utah, is going to end up in a lot of fun places and kind of rarefied air as well.
Well, I mean, look, people are going to put caveats around things, but the caveats are not credible. Look, he's going to end up top 5 in scoring and top 5 in assists in career marks. And it tells you a lot about his game. And people are going to say, well, he played in Region 2. No, I mean, he did, but he also went and did the same thing against Lone Peak this year twice and has done it against Bingham, has done it against a lot of good teams, Corner Canyon last year. Like, he is a legit scorer. I don't care what region he's in. That young man's going to be 20, 25 a game.
No question.
And 8 assists.
Front runner in my opinion for Utah Mr. Basketball this year.
Yeah.
Well, he certainly is. There's a 3, won't go for Semro, and now back down the floor as the Cyprus team last year took Corner Canyon to the absolute brink, and it was Brody Kozlowski at a big 3 in the corner. That's how we kicked off 6A day last year at the Huntsman Center, and they're expecting a lot more this year. As Meza fall away, no, and the rebound taken by Syracuse, and that was Brevin Hamlin pulling down that board.
You don't see very often the two best players on each team guarding each other.
Right.
But I think Caden's length could bother Q a little bit, but Q's going to get to the rim.
Well, in that first possession, it was a Ewan on Erickson. He had that burst, and they've switched that.
Yep.
As Erickson go baseline, got away from Meza, and got it to go.
And that's where you miss the help of the big man, right? If you have Justice there to help protect that rim, all of a sudden you can kind of give that edge. But without him, like, you got to stay in front and take those drives away. And we're seeing Cyprus take advantage, or Syracuse take advantage of that early.
Up top, Diego Mulford. Now back over to Meza. Q cross court, Ewan. Pulls for 3. Ewan for 3.
Aro is talking about his scoring and the lift that's provided. Someone's got to help Q, right? And usually that's been Mulford. If a Ewan can help with that, that's going to go a long way if Cyprus wants to get a win today.
Little post up from Caden. Does a good job. He's just always under control. He knows what he's doing before the defense does, which gives him the huge advantage. I like that. That early post up. I think Coach Russell's going to do that as often as he can.
Coach, you called it. Boy, they've gone right at him with Caden, right? They've really looked to get him engaged. He's been really strong here early on.
And what helps Syracuse is if Cyprus comes and starts doubling, then that's when, Brevin Hamlin does a good job cutting to the basket, picking up any offensive rebound off of any misses. So look for that as the game progresses here.
First free throw good for Caden Erickson, and the second good as well. The lead 7-4 Syracuse. There's 4:15 left in the opening quarter. And Syracuse made it to the semifinals a year ago. Cyprus, we talked about, lost in the quarters to corner as, man, how about this? Ewan, he's going to pull out the Street Fighter. You got me kind of there. Dane didn't pick up the reference, but almost got the Street Fighter sound.
I got it, yeah.
Up top, that was Posey. Now Semro bring it back on the corner here to Dax Brady. Back up top to Caden Erickson.
Erickson's little switch there. Could get the mismatch for Hamblin if they look.
Erickson back straight away for 3. Kane King.
Big. If you can get any scoring out of King, because that's not his job, that's huge for Syracuse right there.
Kane King likes shooting with me on the call. He lit Lone Peak up.
Really?
And I did a game against Davis late in the year where I think he finished with 10 or 12. Most of them were more penetrating, but
now granted, Syracuse just couldn't miss from 3 that night at Lone Peak. I mean, good grief. They were all over him. Ewan sends back out Diego Mulford. Shot clock to 8. Diego down the lane. Try a little pocket pass, turns it over.
Definitely not Diego's game. He needs to get a few spot ups out there. Looking at an early post feed here, possibly get the ball into Erickson again.
Erickson straight away. You in there, gives over to Semro. Semro pumped the three, now goes at Meza. Sent back out to Brady. Brady at Tia with 8. Gets to the rim, crawls off. Tia with the board, now on the run with the Pirates. Meza with Erickson on his hip, sent back out. AU and straight away. Oh, the three rattles out of the rebound, taken by Hamblin.
It's a good look, though.
That was a little bit of momentum three, right? Trying to spark some momentum here. Got a pretty good student body. I haven't looked outside. It's like being in Las Vegas. I don't know what time it is or what it's like outside. As that shot will go for Hamblin. Gets the board back and one for Brevin Hamblin.
He's relentless on the boards. He can miss a few puppies, but if you don't block him out, he's going to get the second one back in just like that.
Well, when we talk about not having justice, all the more important for Spice Tia to stay in the ball game, cannot get in foul trouble. He picks up the first there, and he's got to come off. Well, he will come off the floor here.
2:01 left in the first.
Hamblin is just like sneaky athlete because he was also one of the state's leaders in interceptions this year in football.
I believe he's going to Snow to play football.
I believe so.
Yeah, I think that's right.
As we dip inside of 2 minutes, down to minute 55 left in the opening quarter. Pump the three. Now on the drive, can get a foul here on Syracuse. Caden Christensen. Let's see if they give him the shot. And they say he was in his habitual shooting motion. Put him at the line for 2.
And that called on Hamblin. And look, I like that. And not that you have to go possession after possession, but go right at him, right? And try to give that same thing back to him, see if you can't get the pesky Brevin Hamblin off the floor.
Yeah, that was a little bit of our game plan, was to try to get one of their starters in foul trouble. 2 even better, because one thing that Syracuse does lack a little is depth. They're about a 7-man rotation, and I know they want to keep their first 5 on as much as possible.
Christensen splits the pair. It's a 5-point game, 12-7. Minute 45 on a rolling clock.
It's like a 2-3 zone from Cyprus. Try to change up a little bit of rhythm for Syracuse.
Try to fit that ball inside. Erickson following. Got it.
That's his money spot right there, right in that paint.
How about the overhead rifle pass from Kane King?
As Meza comes back and Q gets on the board.
Smooth.
More than just a shooter,
right?
Man. I mean, he can penetrate with the best of them.
So back down the floor we go with King. Rifles that ball on the baseline. Hamblin jumping on the base. No. Rebound to Meza.
Well, you want that from Cyprus. They're okay with Brevin shooting that shot.
Yep.
And Meza got inside. Draws the foul on Erickson. It's on the floor.
Yeah, I'd go right at Erickson. Get his second if I'm Cyprus. Get the ball to Q, spread the floor, and go.
Because that's the thing, right? You can't guarantee a charge call on Erickson, but you can guarantee some hand checks on a drive.
No question.
So they switch off with King. Send out Diego Mulford. It doesn't have to look textbook because it just goes in for Diego Mulford.
Since he was a freshman out there, you never thought that it was the best-looking shot, but my goodness, the kid can make it.
Well, and you said, right, he's got to get spotted up. That time you do, you get the kick out, and he's as good as they come in that situation.
We saw that in the Utah Top 50 last year. Diego just, I don't know how you even call it. It's not even like a set shot. It's like 2 hands. It kind of comes away, but it's money.
Hey, it's a golf swing. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just got to perfect it.
I was watching last night. We get stuck on Instagram sometimes, and I watched the Scratch versus Pro guy that's on Instagram. You ever watched it? Not the best looking swing in the world. This Scratch golfer guy is amazing.
Yeah.
He films every hole, and he shot like 7 under, like on whatever. I mean, it was unreal. I was like, doesn't look like Colin Morikawa, but it doesn't have to.
Well, I mean, Jim Furyk made a lot of money with a funky swing, so.
That's very true. There's a steal for Cyprus on the drive, hanging, and gets it to crawl home is Taryn Moore. 10 seconds left in the quarter, and Syracuse in hold for the final shot, but the Pirates have tied the game back up at 14. 3 on the clock. 2. Erickson not going to get it off, and that'll do it for the first quarter, and a big push to close out the first frame from Cyprus. We're tied at 14 as we go to the second quarter between Cyprus and Syracuse. You're watching the 2023 6A quarterfinals on KSLSports.com.
Second quarter possession now to Cyprus.
Start of the second quarter, Dusty Litzner, Dane Stewart, and Coach Casey Walkenhurst. Hey, let us know where you're watching us. Where in the world are you watching the state tournament brought to you by Modern Missionary? Go register at Modern Missionary on their website. It's almost mission call opening season. You get a free shirt and washable tie when you register through Modern Missionary. Shoot us a picture at KSL Sports Rewind. Where are you watching the game? And you get some select stuff, and some offers will come your way from Modern Missionary. I saw Dane Stewart put something up back in that first game.
He's the only one. Come on, I need some help.
We need some help. We know where we're at.
Audience of one right now.
Diego Mulford had that three at the end of the first quarter. Now the Spice Tia. 5 on the shot clock. Meza with 3. Meza with 2. At the horn. Q Meza gives Cyprus a 17-14 lead.
I was about to say that was a heck of a defensive possession by Syracuse, which it still was, but what a great shot by Q there.
Just his 2,000th 81st career point.
It's pretty amazing.
Dropped the ball inside to Hamlin. Mulford came down and almost pulled that ball out. Sent out to Kane King. Fits that back in. And it's going to be a foul for Brevin Hamlin going to the line. It's going to go on Spies Tia. Or no, pardon me, that's going to go to Taryn Moore. Going to put Hamlin at the line for 2 free throws. But, Coach, when you got a defense, you play that good, and the guy hits that shot, hey, look at him, hey, it just happens.
Yeah. Sometimes sometimes you're better lucky than good. So if I'm Syracuse, I'm taking that defensive possession and running with that.
And if you're Trey Smith, you say, hey, one more time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He'll claim that he drew that one up for sure.
A member of Raider Nation is always honest in his takes.
Dapper Trey's back, always looks sharp.
Yeah, he does. The days of the suit and the coaches are going out, but he's keeping it alive a little bit.
Wow, no call on the contact on the drive as does not go. So back to, now how do you handle that as a coach? Now, I don't want you yelling at officials, but is it okay, we're going to keep track of contact at the rim?
Sometimes it's frustrating to feel like all these, ticky-tack hand check fouls on the perimeter are all over the place, but your kid can go in there and get slammed to the ground and nothing's called, but you got to adapt to the officiating.
Yeah, you do it. Caden Erickson knocks down the corner 3, and we're tied at 17.
Can't lose them. They try to get entry to Caden. Q's fronting it. They get him underneath the backboard. It's like, great, we defended it. And then they lost him out on the edge, and he finishes with a 3.
And a great job running the pick and roll. Spice Tia lays that one up and in. Nice find from Q Meza.
Yeah, it looks like Syracuse is trying to maybe blitz or trap when he comes off ball screens to get the ball out of his hands, but he's doing a good job of getting it to the right people at the right time.
Look at how aggressive they are defensively. Are Ewan draped all over Erickson there.
Ewan gets the steal. Now a chance for Cyprus to extend the lead. Go back to the pick and roll. Float it and score it. Quentin Meza.
Man, it is a soft feather touch going in onto that basket. a lot of kids in the state, that's a low percentage shot, but for Q, he's perfected that.
Terrible way to finish the movie, but a great way to finish that possession.
Well, and even that time, like, he doesn't even bring the ball up. It's really like one continual rhythm. It's just impressive.
Yeah, that's not the shot Syracuse wants from number 3.
Ewan able to save in that ball from Brady.
Boy, how this game has turned, huh? Opening minutes is like, man, Syracuse came and the Pirates here plundering.
On the dry spice, Tia lays it up and in, and we're going to have a timeout on the floor. The Pirates are rolling it in the Purple Palace. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. The winter winds are blowing, and it's the wind of the pirate, as Trey Smith would want to hear. But, Coach, when you got a team rolling, speak a little bit to Cyprus. They have expectations this year. Last year was like, hey, first time in a long time. They didn't know the last time if they'd ever won a region championship. So a lot of expectations come in today. When you get ready, and you had this a couple years ago when Colin was a junior, how do you handle when it's new but there's expectations to it?
I think you just try to focus every single day on trying to get better. You can't control the outside noise. Everyone knows you're going to be good. Everyone knows you're coming back with a lot of good players. But if you're not constantly every day working to get better, teams are going to catch you, and you're going to slip up in a game that you probably shouldn't lose, and your season's over. So, Coach Trey has done a good job of keeping his kids, I think, really focused, and I think they have a goal in mind, and they're going to keep going after it here.
Coaches are nervous before every game. Would you have been more nervous before this game or before the Bingham game in round after the bye?
Oh, no question, the Bingham game. Just because you're at home, if you lose a second-round game with the expectations they have coming into this thing, you feel like it's not a failure of a season, but very disappointing. But once you get up here to the top 8, anything can happen, and just being able to play on this floor, it's a very successful season in my opinion.
How have you liked having home playoff games? Has that been different?
Absolutely hate it.
Oh, well, we'll pivot from there. Sorry.
I think it is a tragedy for 8 teams in the state to never get to play on this floor, or Utah or UVU or Salt Lake Community College, wherever they can get the top 16 back. I think it's a tragedy because what an experience for kids that don't even get on the play to floor, but to warm up and to have an experience, I think is just really hard on the state right now.
Caden Erickson for 3, and then a foul on the rebound. Going to go against, I think it's on Semro.
Boy, he's keeping them alive right now. That's second made 3 in the quarter. He's got 13 in the game. Everything right now is dependent on Caden for Syracuse.
It's an interesting take from you, Coach, because I know there's different thoughts to it, right? Because rural schools watching this saying, hey, welcome to our world, because that's how it's been since I was in high school. You played a home site game and those quarterfinals championships through, and I think it's an interesting point because it's an opportunity to have something like this you've never had.
Yes. I'm an old school, I guess, guy that, the greatest day of the year was to come up here and watch 8 straight games and see 16 teams play. You never know what's going to happen. And, with the RPI, I think RPI is a good thing. But to only get to see 8 teams come up here, I think something needs to change because there's too many good teams and good kids that don't get an opportunity to play on a court like this.
So outside Caden Erickson with 7. We got a foul on the floor. That'll be the second on Taryn Moore, and that's the 14th foul. They got up quick. But that's interesting because I think without the qualifier in, this kind of becomes that qualifier to make it to the site, right? And that's an interesting part. I think we'll see if the adjustments come. Dane and I have put out many proposals, none of which have made it all the way to the executive committee.
Well, no, I've sent an email.
I said this never made it to the floor to vote on.
I don't know about that.
I mean,
my emails go the distance.
Fine, I am writing more and more bills. As there's a block at the rim, Ewan comes up with a loose ball. Ewan down the lane, and now the foul going to be called on King. And see, they call it on the gather. They do. Coach, how do you upload your habitual shooting motions of your players to the officials? Do you send that in a
do you
zip
submit
file?
Those like 2 days before the game, or?
No, I don't. I don't really send anything to the officials.
Well, I didn't know if it goes to activities. That's an ongoing joke for Dane and I, is that lob into Ewan, taken away here by Syracuse, because the call for a shooting foul is, were they in their habitual shooting motion? It's like, well, how would they know if it was their habitual?
Yeah.
If you didn't upload the file. So that's our kind of an ongoing joke there.
I think it's a guessing game.
So Coach Sopena, hey, my former broadcasting partner, Gus Sopena.
Yeah.
He's hanging out in class with his there, and there's a 3 or probably 2 from Kane King. 23, 22, 30-second timeout. Coach, here it comes. Syracuse, you're not going to bury them this early in the game.
No, they run too many good sets. They get their guys again in the right spots at the right times. I mean, getting a backdoor layup for King to get him 5 points in the game right now again is just Syracuse is just going to hang with you.
In a close game like this, 2:25 left in the half, what are you focusing on, both teams just down the stretch of closing out the half?
I think getting momentum going into the half. I think, if I'm in Syracuse's timeout, I'm talking about stringing a couple stops together right here and getting yourself a 2 to 5 point lead into the half. So you have momentum going in. So I'd maybe do something to get the ball out of Q's hands because there's probably a play run for him right here. I think at this point it's all about momentum going into the second half.
Caden Erickson back guarding Q Meza. Spies Tia comes over for the screen. And Meza left open for 3 and hits. Gave him a little bit of space.
Yeah, both guys went with the roll. A little lack of communication there by Syracuse, and that bit him. Good shot by Q.
If you lose track of Q, you're going to be walking the plank.
Oh, boy. Another great play. Little backdoor action to get Hamblin a nice, easy layup.
Hey, move without the ball. If you move without the ball, good things happen for you, right?
No question. Too many guys like to stand around three-point line and watch guys dribble. If you can become a good cutter, you can score points.
That's on Caden.
So that's number 2 on Erickson.
See, that's right there. A ticky-tack hand check foul that didn't really affect the play, but yet a kid can drive in and get clobbered, and it's watched. So too bad for Caden because now he has to sit for the next minute 40.
So this is where I get to talk about the red zone versus blue zone we've learned from officials. Red zone from midcourt to about the free throw line-ish area, and the closer you get to the rim, the more blue. So red on control fouls and contact at the rim.
As a coach, it's frustrating.
So Meza holds up top, 20 seconds on the shot clock, drives. Brady with him, sends back out 3 for Christensen. No. And the rebound taken by Hamblin. Ooh, Spice T got lucky.
I think if you're Cyprus, or if you're Syracuse, you'll live with that all day, right?
Yes. Look for a shot for Hamblin or Semro right here, coming up off of an elevator screen here. Little slip. Get Brevin. Yep.
And Semro with Christensen on his hip. Gonna hand back 3 on the way from Faddis.
Big.
The 3 is in Faddis. It's a 1-point Syracuse lead.
Again, with the Syracuse not a great team with a lot of depth, but if Faddis comes in and he's a pretty good 3-point shooter, that's a big bonus for Syracuse.
Multiple sport athlete as King tried to get an extra possession there as Meza was getting a call from Trey Smith.
Brady can shoot it as well. Again, it's more than Caden. It's just can they step up in those opportunities this first half they have.
Inside to Meza with King on his hip. No. And that ball out of bounds off of Syracuse and will stay with Cyprus with 23 seconds left. The shot clock will be turned off.
Can I make a note? Just look at that bench. Who's on the left? The player bench. It's Caden Erickson.
Yeah.
Doesn't even go to. He's like, hey, I'm sitting with the coaches, man.
Yeah,
he's
engaged. Calling a few plays in there.
Yeah, right.
Got to be close to check back in as Ayuin on the drive on Semro. Going to draw the foul. That's going to put Ayuin at the line for 2 free throws just inside of 17 seconds left in the half.
Wouldn't be surprised if Coach Russell throws in Caden for this last offensive possession.
That's what I was wondering, right?
The only worry is a cheap offensive foul, but I think Caden's under control enough to know that he doesn't need to go flying in there.
Well, and for me, it's 16 seconds, and you probably aren't going to be ultra aggressive, right? It's like I'm going to go run a set, get a good look.
Yeah, here he comes. So they'll get something set for him here.
It's a great call, Coach.
Man, it's like you've ran that before, like you've ran a bench before.
Yeah, some people probably don't believe I do, but
We've always had good assistance.
All I know is if my best player sitting on the bench with 2 fouls and I got the last possession, I'm definitely throwing him back in because he's probably scoring for me.
Ayuin gives Cyprus a 28-27 lead. 17 seconds left, and it will be Erickson bringing the ball up the floor.
Cyprus goes to a zone.
3-2 look.
Sent back out.
That's
3 on the way from King. No. Backside board to Semro. Pump it and score it. 5 seconds left. Meza with 3. 2 at the horn. Front ribs, a half-court shot, and we go to the break. It is Syracuse 29, Cyprus 28. You're watching the 2023 6-8 quarterfinals on KSLSports.com.
Okay. Okay. You ain't on my level, then shoot. I quit inside for some shit. Gonna be a lower. For me, no dollar. So
The basketball program that gave me so much in high school. Basketball at our school has helped to create a more inclusive environment for people with disabilities. It is important for everyone to feel like they belong and to be part of something greater. In addition to his work with West Jordan basketball, Eric's enthusiasm and motivation for life has helped him in his own work experience. He is currently an information specialist for the Utah Developmental Disabilities Council, where he conducts interviews to promote awareness for disability issues and concerns. For his support of high school activities and his love for the students who participate in them, please join us now with a warm round of applause as we honor Eric Stoker of West Jordan as a 2023 Super Fan of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Stoker.
Viewmont ball. They got to go the full length of the floor. Richens gets it into Walker. 10 seconds. 7 seconds. Walker calmly across. Frampton goes for the steal. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Richens for the win. There will not be a run for 5. Richens at the buzzer, and Viewmont has stunned Lone Peak. Josh Richens ends the 4-year reign of the Lone Peak Knights. Viewmont 64, Lone Peak 61. Quarterfinal memories there. Dusty Lidster, Dane Stewart, Casey Walker. Go ahead, Dane.
One of the iconic games we played in this building. I know it was high school, but you talk about like slaying the giant. And that's current Grantsville basketball coach Nate Austin on the closeout there for Lone Peak.
You know what that is? Until tomorrow, that'll be the last game that Quincy Lewis has coached in this building. It'll be his first time back on this floor as a head coach in the state of Utah. Well, okay, as a head coach since that game. Because that was his last game at Lone Peak.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a hotter team in the state right now than Lehigh. So, and I know they're not, sad seeing Woods Cross get upset by Orem. So could be a fun game tomorrow. I'm surprised how Orem's done a great job. They're a young group of kids to pull that upset over at Woods Cross.
I know it makes me feel old. How old does it make you feel that Jace Tavita is the head coach in the state of Utah?
Pretty old. I was a coach at West Jordan at the time when he was playing at Brighton. And I had no idea that he was Orem's coach until I asked him for some film on somebody, and I'm like, oh, Jace Tavita's a head coach? That's awesome.
Where's Millsap and the rest of the crew, man?
Yeah.
But Dusty Lister, Dave Stewart, Coach Casey Walker-Nursen. And Dane, let's start first with you. Cyprus roll out the gate. They kind of got it going toward the end of the half. And got to feel, you're Trace Smith. How good you feeling? What do the stats say?
Yeah, I think you got to feel pretty good. Really very even game. Both teams shot over 50% from the floor. Both 40% better from beyond the arc. The rebounding was about even. Turnovers about even. Really, it's been much like the scoreboard has reflected. Q 4 of 9 from the floor, 2 of 5 from beyond the arc. He's got 11, but it's Caden Erickson just missed one shot in that first half. Has 13 to lead the way for Syracuse.
Very efficient. Caden doesn't take a bad shot.
Yeah,
he knows his game and he takes advantage of it.
So that foul is going to put Christensen at the line.
I wish Weber State would invest in some more TVs in here so we can see the stats and fouls like up at the U. That'd be nice.
I got them right here for you, Coach.
I need to get my glasses on to see that small.
That's just a spreadsheet on a small laptop screen.
Got to do what you got to do.
We can bring it up here for you.
I think it'd be smart for Cyprus to go at Erickson early here in the second half to pick up his third. Let's see if they take advantage of that.
So opening moments here, Cyprus reclaims a 1-point advantage is Caden Erickson. Up top, Semro. And now King. Come off the screen of, there was nice hands. Hamlin came out that screen, but taken away by Meza. And now stolen by Hamlin. Dane mentioned he's one of the top interception guys in the state of Utah this last year.
Yeah, a bit of a forced pass there. Q was kind of peeled off and ready for that ball to be backed out, and instead the turnover there.
There's Erickson.
Mismatch inside.
Lob over the top, and that foul's going to be, I believe, the Meza is going to put Hamlin back at the line. As Trevin Hamlin has done a lot of the.
That was a great pass by King there to see that over the top. If Cyprus is going to be switching screens on Syracuse, I'm trying to get 5 or 10 on Hamlin as much as I can on the switch. Hamlin struggling from the line. I believe that puts him at 0 for 3 in the game. Hopefully he can get that squared away.
0 for 4. He was 0 for 3 in the first half.
0 for 5. That looks like he's going to get another shot here. Wish he'd go 0 for 5 against Farmington, but he's usually 100% when he sees the Phoenix walk in, so good for him.
he picks his moments.
Maybe we should just turn our court into something purple, and he'll stop making all those foul shots.
I was going to say, when they walked in, I was kind of like, those kind of look like Farmington jerseys. You're blacks, right?
Yeah,
I mean, they got the Phoenix cursive rather than the Cuse, but it's kind of that same, like, blue piping. And I'm sure I just made a bunch of enemies at Syracuse.
That's okay.
And that ball popped out to come back the other way. Brady hangs and hits. Got out over the top of Spice Tia.
So fun to watch these Syracuse kids because they just know their role on this team. And, you know, all of them just understand what's going to take to win games. And they do such a good job of it.
Well, and it was kind of that way last year, right? I think they were like a 21 seed last year. They went to Lone Peak, upset Lone Peak as they got back to the side
Pete
again.
Davis.
Yeah, but it was just one of those where it was like, man, you can kind of see that building, and now the offensive foul here going to go on Tia. But you're right, and I think that's why there was a lot of expectation on this roster, Coach, because they don't play a lot of selfish basketball. And with the run they put together last year,
Bringing back
they
three
lived up to it.
starters. And
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, Coach Russell does an amazing job. I knew when he got hired at Syracuse, he would change Syracuse around because they were struggling for years.
Caden Erickson hangs, double clutches, and hits.
And that's in the air.
Great strong finish by Caden there. He's a heck of a player.
There are not many players that can make that play.
No.
I mean, there's Dusty, Casey, and Caden Erickson. There's three.
Casey stood outside the three-point line his high school career, so he's not in there.
That's where I live. Angle, too. No corner stuff. Just give me the angle. Deepest one. Don't have to think about being too strong. There's Spice Tia on the drive, and he draws the foul. He just go on Hamlin. And it does go on Caden Hamlin. Or Brevin Hamlin. Number 2 on Hamlin. His brother's name wasn't Caden, was it? Was our offensive player of the year? Okay, good. Now I know where I had that in my head. So back to the line with Spice Tia.
He does have a little brother on the team, Tarek Hamlin.
Yeah.
Comes in every once in a while, number 24.
And I think, isn't the older brother the girls' coach?
I know it's a Hamlin. I don't know if they're related or not.
Okay, I was thinking they were, but I could be wrong.
Maybe Braden Hamlin was the
Yeah, I think that was the football player.
our offensive player of the year. Rewind awards as Spice Tia makes that. It was 1 of 2. Look out for our award show. Will come out after the end of the basketball season. Don't worry about the polls.
We'll take care of that.
Polls are dead. There's outside King. Go back up top to Hamlin.
We've shown we can't have nice things. So.
We'll take them away until proven that you can handle them. That wasn't at Dane either.
I mean, he was looking my direction, but you know.
For the reaction. That was that's all it was. Semro from the corner. Ayun got out there, couldn't get his hand in front. As Erickson goes back at Spice Tia. Good job of holding his ground. And
Timeout.
Timeout taken by Syracuse. 30-second timeout. Coach, are you the quick timeout guy? You try to go rapid fire like it's it's Jeopardy trying to get the answer?
I think my assistant coaches would probably rather me call some when we need to, but if I don't have at least 3 or 4 in my pocket late in the game, I'm calling too many.
So, and let's bring an off-air conversation on air. This is what I tend to do. Coach and I did this earlier, talk about timeouts after threes, because I'm with you. I'm like football. I want timeouts in critical moments because you can't stop the clock in high school basketball after made buckets unless you've got timeouts or fouls.
Yeah, I think sometimes coaches tend to, call them at inopportune times, probably just to, reset their guys. But middle of the third quarter and you make a shot, it's probably not the greatest time to burn one because you're probably going to want one a little bit later. But, coaches do it differently. And I played for a coach that called quick timeouts early, and sometimes we didn't have them late. And other coaches like me, I probably should call some more earlier. Good slip.
Oh, inbound pass into Hamblin and an extended lead here. 5 points for Syracuse.
Got to be careful. This game's starting to get a little bit of separation. It's an 8-2 run to start this third quarter for Syracuse.
Top with Quentin Meza. Meza from way outside, back rimmed. Spice-Teo with the rebound. And we're going to have a loose ball foul on Caden Erickson. That'll be number 3 on Erickson.
Yeah, that's a hard one. Pick up a cheapie right there on an offensive board. He's going to have to be careful here for a minute.
Do you leave him on here, Coach, if you're coaching?
As a senior, I would trust him, keep him in at this moment to not pick up another cheap fourth.
Hey, baseline inbounds plays. You got to have some automatic ones, and there it is to Caden Christensen.
And so, yes, here's the note that we just took away. All the juniors on Farmington, remember that. Next year when you're playing for Coach Watkins, if you're a senior, there's 3. I'm just teasing you.
If I take you out,
trying
let
to
me
back
know.
you into a corner. So
That's off of Hamblin's knee. I thought, no, Mr. Official says it's not. But we're a little ways away.
all right. Hey, how about this? So we got some clarity we got to provide here. One, it has been confirmed. The Hamblin, Brevin, is Braden Hamblin's younger brother. Braden is the girls' coach. And by the way, happy 18th birthday to Brevin. That provided by the old big brother. So,
Big day.
big day,
He's
huh?
an adult.
Congratulations, Brevin.
Right?
Happy birthday. And also happy birthday to an 11th birthday to my oldest daughter, Reagan.
Happy birthday, Reagan.
Look at
Dad
that.
is
Look
never
at
home
that.
for her birthday. So happy birthday to Reagan. She lets me know that every year that I'm calling the basketball games.
You're
on
going to
her
be in
birthday.
trouble on number 16 if you're not there.
Have it on a Sunday.
Oh, there you go.
I didn't even look to see where we'll be. 16 will be 28. Oh, I can't do the leap years and stuff like that. But anyway.
Yeah. I good luck with that. I have a 9-month-old, our first daughter, and her 16th. Luckily it's in May, so
there
I
you
definitely
go.
won't be coaching at that point.
The night she was born, we were doing, I guess she was born the next morning, but we were the hockey state championships back when Dane and I did such things.
Those were good times, man. We could all use a little more hockey in our lives.
As come out of the timeout, it's Semro on the drive with 3 on the shot clock, left it short, rebound, taken by Meza. Quentin on the run, give it up, Ayuin, left it short.
Yeah, probably would want to come down with that one.
You want to teach it come down and reverse it?
Yeah, come down and just be a little bit more in control.
Erickson hangs and hits.
So good in the lane. Always under control, off 2 feet, knows where the basket is, and obviously being as long as he is, he can shoot over tall or small.
And that was even good enough defense by Aro. I mean, he's staying vertical, not giving anything up. And
Goes into Christensen. Christensen had a mouse in the house on King, and King going to draw the foul. Going to put Christensen back at the line for 2 free throws. He went for that swipe. That's what got King on that one. Yeah. He didn't like it. That's what it was.
That's number 3 on him. He kind of leads the offense, gets them into their stuff. That could be another one that they might want to get a little foul trouble.
those fouls adding up.
Well, Christensen back rims the first free throw.
So we talked about guidelines. I got one. I teased this earlier. You ready for this? Here's a new guideline for Dane Stewart. If there's more than 1 foul per minute in basketball, it's too many.
I like that.
I agree.
We go, fouls are the ebbs and flows in basketball. Comes and goes like the ocean. It's all over, but I like that one too.
1 per minute.
Yeah. It's a different look. Zone again for Cyprus. Try to get Syracuse out of a rhythm.
1-3-1.
Got to keep the ball in the middle.
Hamblin has that one slapped away by Christensen, taken by Meza. Had a chance for numbers, but Semmer was able to hold Meza up in the backcourt. Taryn Moore leaves it for Christensen. Outside Meza. Pump the 3, now drives left hand and makes it.
I'm attacking Caden every possession because he's afraid to pick up number 4 right there.
Yeah.
And that's good. You kind of teach him that little double clutch to get back in control, because that's kind of how it felt, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, rifles that one on the baseline. Brady, no. Rebound to Moore. On the run, Meza.
Good job by Cyprus keeping this game. They got to 6 points a minute ago, and it's down to 2.
Everyone misses on the lead-taking 3. As we crawl inside of 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in the third, and Ayun with the steal. Beza had Mulford running to the corner.
Oh, wow.
And a traveling violation on Meza. I don't know if we're going to catch it on this or not.
Sure, I saw that.
You want to give it a try?
Yeah, let's give it a try. Let's go ahead, Preston. Go ahead and play. Mr. Official called it before. Oh.
We're figuring things out.
Syracuse is a good set right here. They've gone 3 or 4 without scoring. Had a couple quick shots, a turnover.
Send out for 3. Brady lifted out, a rebound to Meza. So all
4 straight possessions with nothing for Syracuse. Had a chance to extend this thing.
Looks like they're going to go horns. Everyone's got the same signal for horns. There's only one way to do it. Meza goes out to Mulford. Seminole with him. Diego way outside. Oh, lipped out and the rebound taken by Brady. Christensen send that to Semro.
Another quick 3.
Backside board to Hamlin, sends it back out to
There
Keene.
you go. Coach Russell's getting them into something here. This is a big one.
Boy, Syracuse fans frustrated. No call there.
Another Brevin Hamlin creating a second opportunity just by being a garbage man.
Tara Moore hits the deck. Thought he might have a foul on that. He'll have a jump ball. Coming down and getting that is Ayun. All kinds of stuff happening in this one.
Well, you had Brevin Hamlin getting tied up with Moore. Moore ended up going to the floor. They're both petitioning for whistles, and there's no more fouls to give. I mean, we're on quota here, so.
Yeah.
It's reset now in the final minute. 14 fouls apiece.
Been 38-36 for a little while here.
Yeah. Meza on the drive. Brady cut him off. Sends out. Moore spins at Erickson. Fall away. No, and then a late whistle. Number 4 on Caden Erickson is going to put Tara Moore at the line. The lightest whistle of the second half.
Well, and that's hard. I actually thought the hand was on the body. Now, I don't know how much forcible contact there is there, but some of it is the visual.
Yeah, I felt like the offensive player was falling backwards, and that's a tough one for Caden for number 4.
And that's where I think sometimes it's the visual of it, right? That arm is extended. Player, I don't disagree. I don't think he's pushing him.
Yeah.
But with that arm extended and the player falling backwards, even if it's self-created, like, foul. But
yeah,
that's a big one.
That is huge. He'll have to sit for a couple minutes of the fourth, see if Syracuse can hold on to this without him in there.
How long do you leave him off, Coach?
I'd probably put him back in around the 6-minute mark. Unless if we build a little lead, I'd maybe hold him off to 5.
So about a 7-second difference between game clock and shot clock. Probably 5-second difference between game clock and shot clock. To Semro. Outside, nice hands by Moore. Nearly got the steal. Semro got it back. Moore right there. Oh, that's an elbow and a foul.
You got to be careful. Emotions are starting to bleed into this one. You see Semro's reaction. You drop the basketball, walk away like.
And here's the other thing. Positive for Semro. At least we're not in college basketball at the moment. We'd be going into review.
Be an 8-minute delay.
8-minute delay, and he may not be in the game.
Coach Russell's doing a good job of keeping his composure. Most would be pretty upset with that physicality there.
You need to take a sip of your favorite energy drink like somebody else does and just calm down as we're inside of 5 seconds. Meza send that ball to the corner. Mulford with 2. Diego at the horn. And we are tied going to the fourth quarter. We always want a good one, and we have one. We're tied at 38 between Cyprus and Syracuse. Winner moves on to the semifinals. We'll be back. You're watching the 2023 6A quarterfinals on KSLSports.com.
Okay. Okay. You ain't on my level, then shoot out there inside. Some shit to be allowed. We know that. So
It all starts with a smile. To show you care, offer a sign of love, welcome someone home. even when we don't see each other or share a room. Even without words, smiles bring us together. Let's keep yours healthy. Stonehaven Dental. Schedule online at stonehavendental.com.
Short on the second, and it's a 2-point Syracuse lead early in the fourth quarter.
Someone just walked in with the pie pizza. I mean, seriously? Like, that's almost not fair.
Inside, and Spice Tia ties us up at 42. And it's also, we talk about got to go Q Mesa, but it's also those guys like Spice Tia, Diego Mulford, who got to step up.
Yes, no question. A lot of cuts off of a high post.
And that's going to be on Q Mesa. I think that's number 3 on Q. Or number 2?
I think 2.
Number 2. Trust Dane. That's what we learned there.
Well,
so here comes a flare for number 25 in the corner, opposite corner.
And Ewan took it away, and Mulford took away the pass.
Yeah, took away the play.
Q Mesa going at King. I thought, because you saw King being really aggressive, I thought you would see Mesa try to go after him there. A Ewan. Nearly stolen by Hamblin. He was reading that all the way.
It's like 6-minute mark. Caden might be coming in.
He had 14 seconds. These are 14 important seconds.
They could be. I'd maybe throw him in more on an offensive possession.
You're right. Now you put him out there with his last foul. And if you're Trey Smith, well, hey, let's get some screens to try to switch to it.
Look what they did. Well, he's going to go guard Diego, which is smart, right?
Yes.
Because Diego doesn't penetrate a lot. So
let's see if Cyprus runs something for Diego.
Shot clock here.
Diego said, hey, Mesa said, come screen him. He goes at Erickson, tried to draw the call. He got the bucket anyway. He tried to get everything on that one. Oh, what a take can make by Mesa.
Comes a post feed for Erickson.
Ewan got to stay on his feet. I don't think you're going to get the last one as a back in charge. And the travel from Kane King. Let's see if we get a chance to watch that last one. The transition was just a little too fast there, Preston.
Yep.
Good effort. Good effort.
Hey, we're getting it. We are close, Dusty.
Preston the intern gave him way too much time off and then put him in the pressure cooker.
We got the switch again.
Meza, 5 points in 2 of the most incredible ways, Coach.
It is Q time, fourth quarter for Utah Mr. Basketball showing up right here.
And he's got 20.
Yikes. Quiet 20.
Quiet 20.
7 in the quarter. 20 on the game, into the corner. Caden Erickson cut off on the baseline. Ayuan fouls Erickson, and Erickson will go to the line for 2 free throws. 2 big free throws. As right now, Cyprus starting to feel themselves.
That was a good play design to get him that opportunity to kind of stem the tide a little bit, get a couple foul shots, get his defense set back again.
Coach, when your best player is going like that, what is it you're trying to tell your other guys? Hey, just keep going, or hey, just keep the ball in his hands and let him do his thing? And how do you keep guys involved as Erickson misses the first of 2?
I still think stay in the flow of your offense, but understand that you need to get your best player a shot, and if he doesn't get one early, then other people need to look for it. But if you got a hot guy, I'm getting the ball to Q on this possession, even if it's a questionable shot. I'm trusting him in this one right here.
I'm just seeing a Colin in that 5A championship game when he kind of got going. The student section was going at him. It's like, okay, you just keep feeding the monster. As Tia comes away with that board, as Erickson uncharacteristically goes 0 for 2 at the stripe.
Yeah, Syracuse free throw percentage is probably not very good in this game. It might be the difference maker.
Meza going at Erickson. Meza continues, get Erickson off his feet, and there's number 5 on Caden Erickson. It'll be Quentin Meza going the line for 2 free throws to try to make it a 7-point Cyprus advantage.
That is tough. That's a great play by Q. Get him in the air, create the contact. Feel bad for Caden. Hopefully his team can help him.
And you certainly feel for Caden Erickson. This is a young man that last year state tournament made a great run, leading Syracuse to the semifinals, and now he's going to be on the bench hoping that his teammates can extend his high school career by 1 game. 4:44 left in the fourth quarter. It's a 7-point Cyprus lead. You're watching the 2023 6A state tournament on KSLSports.com. And welcome back in the D Event Center. Dusty Lister, Dane Stewart, Casey Walkenhurst with you as Quentin Meza just fouled out the best player for Syracuse.
You know, the amazing thing, Erickson has fouled out 17 points, but you got to figure, I mean, he didn't play 24 minutes today because he had to sit with foul trouble, right? 17 in the minutes he had, pretty effective game for him.
Well, he started the game that way, right? Went right to the rim at the first points. As Meza missed the first and hits the second. So splits the Parrots a 6-point lead. And now Syracuse is going to have to find their way. We mentioned going to the break. Caden Erickson going out of the game. He's hoping his teammates can extend their season without him on the floor.
Who do you work through here, Coach?
I would try to get a shot for Semro or Faddis if I could.
Tio with
there's Hamlin.
There at Hamlin. You talk about the garbage man. He cleans that one up, goes to the line. It'll be Hamlin playing the Adam Keefe role from old-time Jazz days. That was his nickname.
The rebound thief.
The milkman Adam. Well, no, that was Tyron Corbin. It was garbage man Adam Keefe.
The garbage man can. For any Simpson fans out there.
Yeah.
You said that, and all I thought was Mr. Plow.
Mr. Plow.
Timeout on the floor. And we're going full or 30 seconds? Full timeout. We'll be right back. 4:26 left on the fourth.
Okay. Okay. Yun ang malawagan siya akit sa kapasensito na bi alawa humino dala so
All starts with a smile. To show you care, offer a sign of love, welcome someone home. Even when we don't see each other, or share a room, even without words, smiles bring us together. Let's keep yours healthy. Stonehaven Dental. Schedule online at stonehavendental.com.
So welcome back in, Dusty Litster, Dane Stewart, Casey Walkenhurst, and 2 timeouts left for Syracuse. And look, you're seeing the screen. The Cyprus logo is covering up the timeout. So Trey Smith, he's certainly worked it. There's a steal. King with Meza on his hip. Missed the layup. He thought he'd get fouled. Tia comes away with the rebound.
Didn't the hand come down on the rebound?
And then wave off the bucket. No foul. It'll be a 1-1 free throws.
First of all, Kane King on that run out. The moment he looks over his shoulder, it's like, uh-oh. Focus on the goal ahead, right?
Yes.
Focus on the goal ahead. If you get contact, go to the line, but focus on the goal ahead. Missed opportunity.
Yeah, most blocks end up in your possession anyway, so even if you got it blocked, you're probably getting it back.
So at the line, Meza makes the front end of 1-1. And now we saw earlier today, be aware of where you are on the floor, not getting a lane violation down the stretch.
Which we did have someone send us a screenshot, a clear lane violation.
Clear lane violation.
Yeah,
we just saw him come back and try to figure it out.
That could have been a disastrous ending.
No kidding, huh?
Especially when that ball left Atwater's hand. I thought, that is going in.
Boy, and Q with some misses at the line in this fourth quarter.
So 4-point lead for Cyprus halfway through the fourth quarter. Syracuse still very much in this game as the shot clock's still running. Is that ball knocked out by Spice Tia? Shot clock to 15. Hamblin hands over to Brady.
Be a little more aggressive off the bounce, I think, at the top of the key. Go at Tia.
Come off the screen. King gives it back to Hamblin. Off of his foot. Spice Tia knocked that ball out. And it'll be Cyprus basketball.
Boy, good. Oh, go ahead.
Looks like Syracuse is going to try to double Q, not let him get the ball. Probably good to keep the ball out of his hands.
What the defense by Spies. A couple times where he was able to knock that basketball away. Brother, I believe, is in New Guinea on a mission. But nice defensive work there by Spies.
Fit that ball on the baseline to Meza. Quinton sends that ball back out to Ayuan. Ayuan, Tia drives at Hamblin. Kind of an out of control drive. Here's the ball in the corner. Diego Mulford. Back rims the triple and the rebound to Brevin Hamblin.
That might be my favorite call, Coach. Because you're right. Every Syracuse fan's like, oh no.
Yeah, that's usually money for Mulford there.
You were nearly Bill Walton without it being the buzzer shot.
Yeah.
Lob inside. Hamblin a little too strong on that one. Looking for Faddis.
Empty possessions for Syracuse, 2 in a row. Can't have them with this much time down 4. This is huge for Cyprus.
And as coach, can't feel like those opportunities are missing. They got 2 stops and 2 empties.
Yep. And they had the right play. They had it on the empty side. Just didn't get enough air under that pass.
I love the idea there. Semro trying to force something. Is AUN maybe was being a little lackadaisical on that inbound. It's AUN up top with Semro with him.
Isn't it so nice, though, that Syracuse doesn't need to foul right here?
Right.
Yes, with the shot clock. It's been such a good change.
Meza for 3.
King fell asleep.
Yep. 12th point of the quarter for Q, 25 in the game, and you're right, King just missed him.
Kind of crazy that the biggest shot of the night, or the game rather, came off of kind of a broken possession there that ends up in the hands of Meza. Straight away for Faddis. He knew off his hand, no. Board to Hamlin,
Whistle.
he's fouled, and they'll put Brevin Hamlin at the line for, or Caden Hamlin, at the line for free throws.
Yeah, big shot by Q. Man, how nice would it be to have a kid with just ice water in his veins right there, take advantage of a mistake by Syracuse and knock down a huge three to get a 7-point lead now.
By the way, he'd be over 2,100 points in his career right now. Shouldn't say would be, is. I
Pretty
mean,
unbelievable in
Even do
today's
the
game.
math. A 4-year starter, 2,100 points. Like, that's unreal.
Yeah.
It just gives you a feel for like Randy Reed when he was able to do it in a non-shot clock year and things like that. It's
Well,
kind of unreal.
And that's the thing, is he's going to be right with Randy Reed when it's all said and done.
Did Randy Reed have a 3-point line?
He did.
That helps.
Late 80s, yeah. Of course, Duncan had all those points, and Randy said, "That's cute. You didn't beat me." Corner three, Diego no, and the rebound taken by Syracuse, who's still in this game. 5-point ball game. Cross court, Semro. It's a 2-point game.
Great shot. Great pass ahead. We got a ball game here.
Don't look ahead. Be where your feet are. And it's a 2-point game with 1:35 on a rolling clock in the fourth.
And there were moments earlier this game where Semro was starting to get a little testy there emotionally, right? Mentally keying in, hitting a big-time three. Way to keep your mind focused and right for that moment.
Yeah, if Q gets rid of this ball, I'm doubling him. I'm not letting him get it back.
10 seconds. Meza. Junction J. Yes.
Can't guard him.
Nope.
Still just a 2-possession game. Syracuse has 2 timeouts left. Remember, folks, the clock will not stop on a made bucket in high school basketball. King on the drive, gets Mulford off his feet, sends out Faddis. Short on the triple, rebound to Meza.
Uh-oh.
Q Meza will lay it up and in. It's a 6-point lead.
Got to attack here for Syracuse. Can't waste time.
Ewan nearly gave up a cheap foul there. Off the screen of Hamblin. Straight away for King. Lips out. Hamblin there for the putback. No. Back up, and he's fouled. Ewan will draw the foul, I believe. Either Ewan or Mulford will be on Mulford. And the free throws coming to Brevin.
I was kind of surprised that King passed up that attempt at the lane for the kick-out three to Faddis. I know it's a 4-point game, but man, if you make that, it's a 1-point game. I was surprised. But
Yeah, unselfish play, but yeah,
It
you
is
got to
unselfish,
take the 2, higher percentage shot.
how about this? Cyprus has scored 18 points in the fourth quarter, 16 of them from Q.
Fourth quarter Q time.
Because you wanted to help move them along, but here's another scene at the line, and Hamblin, the shot clock will be off, and Hamblin, it's a 2-shot foul.
They started running the clock, though.
One official should have had their eyes on it, and they'll get it reset.
Can I tell you, we've really missed an opportunity, Dusty. We needed a weekly segment with Q Meza around how to best grow your basketball game. We could have called it Q-tips.
Oh, man.
That would have been nice.
Right?
Yeah.
Opportunity missed.
No kidding. Q-tips.
You know what? We missed it out when Frank Jackson was here. We didn't say, hey, frankly time,
When Q gets done playing, I'd get a hold of him,
Yeah?
Twitter account called
Yeah,
Q-Tips for the
Q-tips.
youth or something.
Q-tips, there
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Wherever you are, Q, we'll do a weekly
Let's do
comment,
it, man.
So
You can be under 6 feet and have a huge impact on the game still.
Yes.
So Hamlin missed the first. Makes it a 5-point game with the second. And now timeout taken by Syracuse with 30 seconds left. Full timeout, we'll take it with them. You're watching the 2023 6A quarterfinals on KSLSports.com.
Okay. Okay. You ain't on my level, then shoot. I fit inside. Fucking shit. Gonna be a lover. We know that. So high.
30.2 left in the fourth quarter. Syracuse still hanging around here. Down 5 with 30 seconds left. The shot clock is off. They have one timeout remaining. And it's 1-on-1 free throws on the other end. Only 18 fouls on Syracuse. One last chance at a 1-on-1. Mulford is fouled from behind by Semro. Not a bad reach behind, because either you tip it and get the ball back, or now you get free throws and 1-on-1 here for Diego Mulford.
Yeah, you never know. Still a 1-on-1.
How about Cyprus? Looking to advance to a semifinal.
When's the last time that's happened?
Well, they won a championship in '55, but that's literally the last title or like documentation of any postseason of duration that they could find.
That's crazy.
Diego misses the front end. Game still open here. King.
Don't need a 3 right here. Just get the best shot you can.
Faddis got Terramore off his feet. Good contest from Moore. Now the foul underneath the hoop on Ayuan. That'll be number 4 on Ayuan. They'll put Semro at the line with the clock stopped. Down 5. Huge free throws coming here for Semro.
Yeah, hopefully Coach Russell keeps this timeout after these made 2 free throws, because he's going to need one if they come down and make a shot. Otherwise, the clock's just going to run out on him.
And knocks down the first. And making a one-possession game with the second here. And there'll be double bonus free throws for Cyprus if Syracuse fouls them. And it is a 3-point game and a timeout taken by Syracuse. So 13.6 left. Coach, for him, what are we talking through right now situationally if you're on the Syracuse bench?
Keep the ball at Q's hands. Don't let him get to the foul line. I'd foul anybody else and just hope for the best. So, yeah, whoever's guarding the inbounder, I'm doubling Q and just hope for a couple of missed foul shots.
Usually couch coaches say, hey, let's get the ball to a certain player. Is that anything you're talking about here other than, hey, we don't want it here? Are you ever talking about, hey, actually, let's get it to this guy, where Mulford just missed a free throw? You're saying, hey, let's get out of here. If it gets to 10, we're fine, get the foul.
Yeah. I mean, if you have, enough stats to know that so-and-so is a 50% free throw shooter, you're doing everything you can to get him the ball. But if I'm Cyprus's coach, I know that I don't want him to get the ball, so I'm keeping him as far from the ball as I possibly can. So it's just the chess match of basketball. But if you can keep the ball out of Q's hands, I think your chances go up for at least one missed free throw.
And Dane, I think for the first time, maybe since 55, there's not documented the Final Fours or anything like that we've seen, but for Cyprus, this is a historical moment for the school out in Magna, potentially.
It is. And, look, they got a great showing here today in the D Event Center. Traveled well. You talk about all the build-up. Region champions back-to-back years. Last year was their first region championship since they couldn't find when. We know there's a state title in 1955. Look, it's been impressive. And you talk about, what Q Mesa has meant to Cyprus. It's that. It's pulling a program out of what has been the depths of what people would call non-competitive region and bringing them to region championships and making them runs in postseasons. And that's all because of Q and the impact he's made.
Well, they got to inbound first. They got to close out the free throw line second into Mesa. Now the foul to Brady. Going to put Mesa at the line. Double bonus free throws here for Q.
And just one other thing, you talk about this Cyprus team. They've been through their adversity. We talked about their missing Justice Jackson Fobbs injury, but had an assistant coach pass away. Right. Coach Terry, right? Passing away. That was in the middle of region play. And, they've been through the gauntlet physically, emotionally, And it makes this run all the more impressive that they've been able to work through that as a team, as a locker room, and now on the brink of advancing to a semifinal.
Well, that free throw pretty much seals it.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because if you're Cyprus, they want to guard anybody.
Yeah,
Let him go down and
exactly.
make a layup. It doesn't matter. As he hits the second, making it a 5-point game, and Trey Smith takes the timeout. And Coach, you've been a part of this. I mean, you took Woods Cross was a pretty good basketball school, right? You had Hunsaker, Day, and everything else. And you get there and you help take it to another level there, and then have to build a new program at Farmington. What does it mean in these moments right here? Maybe you haven't got yourself too far ahead. What's it like right now? You feel like, hey, we're up 2 scores. They have no way to stop it. What's that feeling like in the huddle?
It's pretty amazing, you know, to know that not only do you get to keep playing and have an opportunity to play in a Final Four, which, you know, there's plenty of coaches and players in this state that have never reached that are fantastic coaches. You're kind of living the moment. You want to stay in the moment as a coach. You know, make sure you guys know what you want in this situation. But there's a little piece of you inside that's like, holy crap, we're in the Final Four of the 6A state tournament, and we got an opportunity to continue to be with my players and to see them, you know, succeed. It's a pretty amazing feeling. So I'm really happy for Coach Trey. I mean, nothing against Cyprus, but we've documented their history. Probably wasn't a job that many people wanted.
Yeah.
Right.
And look what he's done with it. So
Well,
that's
alma
awesome.
mater.
It's his alma mater. He played basketball there. As Brady sends that ball to the corner, banked in the 3.
But they don't have to inbound.
And they don't have to inbound. Cyprus can just hold it on. Spice Tia sends it ahead to Mulford. And Cyprus is heading to the 6A semifinals with a 58-56 win over Syracuse.
Congratulations to Coach Russell. Fantastic season. Represented Region 1 really, really well. Fremont next. Hopefully they can, represent the region as well. But good job for Cyprus. I hope they're still hungry going into Thursday, because what a great accomplishment. But they're a good enough team to continue, and I hope they have that mindset that they can go and go play for a state championship in a couple of days.
Dan, your final notes and selection of the player of the game.
Well, I mean, I think, look, this game was in question for a long time, and you think about that fourth quarter, 18 points for Q, en route to 31 in the game. He's over 2,100 points, only the 4th player in state history to eclipse that mark. And look, Q would not be denied. Coach, you said Q time. That was every bit the sense of what happened in that ball game. He's our player of the game. Tip of the cap to Syracuse. The foul trouble certainly with Caden Erickson didn't allow him to stay in this game. Might have been different had it not been the case, but it was. And tip of the cap to Cyprus. Well played ball game. Heck of an effort by Syracuse. But man, excited to see Cyprus advance to a semifinal for the first time in a long time.
Congratulations to Coach Russell on a great year for Syracuse, and 2 years in a row making it to the site. And for Cyprus, congratulations to Coach Trey Smith and the Cyprus Pirates as they get a 58-56 win over the Syracuse Titans and advance to the semifinals, where they'll take on the winner of our next game, the Fremont Silver Wolves and the American Fork Cavemen, the reigning 6A champions. And congratulations to Quentin Meza, our Heinemann Associates Player of the Game. For Vince Francis, Dane Stewart, and Coach Casey Walkenhurst, I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us and for watching KSL Sports Rewind's coverage of the 2023 6A State Quarterfinals on KSLSports.com.